So I married a lesbian. Take you back just a little bit, get this thing right for you. My wife, Victoria, you know her, right? You've seen her. When I first saw her, I saw her in the parking lot of a place that I was managing. I was managing a big shoe store, doing my thing, upset at my staff because of their lack of being good at the job. I see my wife outside of the windows, big pane windows. She's getting out of the car, long flowing hair. And it's got the wavy thing going on. She has on shorts. You can tell that she's athletic because you can see the muscles in her hips and thighs. You can see it. She's getting out of the car and she's walking slowly toward this place that I'm managing. And as she's walking up, I'm looking out at this woman and I'm overwhelmed with the fact that I don't know what this is, but I know that this woman is supposed to be in this place, in my presence at this time in life. I don't know what that means, but I can feel it, and she's supposed to be there. She walks in. I'm gathering myself. I'm looking strange. Must be because she looks at me and she says, "Are you okay?" That's what she says to me. First word. Never met this lady in a day of my life. She looks at me and she says, "Are you okay?" And I froze. She then walks up to the counter just past me, and I'm thinking to myself, what in the world just happened? This lady has just come into my little circumference and shaken up everything that I know. She goes up, she's asking for the manager. That'd be me. So she had to walk back towards me. I see her walking back towards me out the corner of my eye. I'm like, okay, Henry, come on, King, get yourself together. Get yourself together. She comes up to me, same pleasant voice that you guys hear on all of our podcasts and stuff like that. And she says, "Are you the manager?" So I'm ready now. I'm like, yeah, I got myself together. I'm ready. Yes, I'm the manager. She said she's looking for a job. Heard that we were hiring. All of that. Cool, great. So I said, let's interview right now. All right, so we're in this interview process. Her answers are flawless. I'm going through asking these interview questions, and she's perfect. She's hitting them. But she's not only just answering the questions, this girl is smiling at me and use perfect white, straight teeth. And I'm thinking in this interview, this woman is flirting with me. And she's younger than me. Victoria's a lot younger than me. I'm like, this woman is freaking flirting with me. But I need to hire somebody. And her answers are great and all this stuff. I'm just like, this could be bad. This could be dangerous. I shouldn't have hired this woman. But I did. She starts, and of course, the way I had it set up, she had to work with me to learn the process of the store and all of this. And she hits me with a big bombshell that she is dating a girl from her school, okay? And I look at her, I was like, wow. Thinking to myself, what a freaking waste. You're dating another woman? You are robbing a man of this gift that you truly are. This is the stuff that I'm thinking within my mind. I'm just being honest and I'm being open, okay? This is what I'm thinking. And we continue to talk about this. And I'm just listening as a manager. You have to be very careful about how you address these situations because that protected class, they can get anything that they want, you know. So I had to be very careful about what we're talking about. But she was sharing information, talking about how long they've been dating, talking about how she feels about it. And then she went into something that was going to be what changed everything for the both of us. She said, "I want to know how God feels about my lifestyle." Whew. Things changed. So that opened the door a bit, I thought, to the conversation. She wanted to know how God felt about the lifestyle. I asked her, "Do you want me to give you those answers?" And then she immediately switched and just got super defensive. She said, "No, you know what? I don't know, because all you're going to do is tell me that God hates this particular lifestyle and it's going to be this and that. All you're going to do is prejudge me." I was like, wow, you mean just like you just did to me? You didn't give me a chance to answer, even though you were bringing this question and brought it to me. You didn't give me a chance to answer. You didn't know what I was going to say or whatnot. And so she took a step back. And Victoria is a learner. She is an observer. She's very soft and she's very secure. And she says, "You know what? you're right. Tell me what you think. And so we talked about this, and I tried to be as gentle as I can with it and all of that. And I thought that was just the end of it. Lo and behold, it was not. Because after that, Victoria really started to flirt with me. This is at work. We're at a job and she's flirting with me. I'm the manager of this place. And I should not be engaging with, coworkers, and at least especially a coworker who is quote unquote underneath me in the corporate world. And that was the case. She really started to flirt, and she really started to make it very clear that she was flirting. It wasn't just, she'd go up a ladder and then she'd call me into the back, can you help me down from this ladder? And she's sitting up there and just goodness all in my face in the ladder. And I was like, my goodness, there's she's not flirting. But it continued. She touched my hand, shove and stuff like that. And I was faced with what is going on here. There's something that seems to be happening here. But here's the problem. The problem was, it could be that this woman is truly attracted to me and she wants to take part in Henry, but she's a lesbian. So that's kind of confusing to me. Could be that she just wants to get me under her wing. Once we engage in sexual activities or kissing or any of that stuff, then now she's in control because I'm the manager, shouldn't be doing it. Now she can hold that over my head and I can't say anything about the behaviors or anything that she does at the job. So this could be a trap. But she wasn't that type of woman. I can read it. She wasn't that type of woman. And that went on for a good while. It's flirting. And then I gave in to it. Now I'm flirting. Now I was like, this is something else. I had been praying for a wife, a specific type of wife. I've been praying for this woman that loves children, a woman that can be submissive, a woman that's after God's heart. She was in the genesis of being all of those things, right? Because she was coming to God. She was asking these questions about God and learning and all of this, even though she was in this lesbian lifestyle. She opens up and says that I'm at odds with it. I don't know how to feel about being in this life. I feel like God is pushing me away from it, but I don't know how to stop it. I don't know what to do. I've told people that this is who I am. I went around with the community. I've traveled with people. I've told my mom and I've told her mom, and they know that we're together and all of these things. And now I'm in a spiritual battle of if I want to be in this situation of lesbianism right now. God is messing with me. And the next thing you know, in walks her girlfriend. Her girlfriend is now in the store and we all meet her for the very first time. And I felt some kind of way. I'm like, why do I feel this way about a woman who's younger than me? A woman who's in a lesbian lifestyle, even though she's battling with God if it's right or if it's wrong. I'm feeling some kind of way. And I go to God about it. And God said, this is what you asked me for. You prayed for a specific type of wife, and now I'm giving it to you. I'm like, man, whoa, brother, have you been eating of the fruit? I mean, are you telling me that this woman will be my wife? Yeah. And I knew from that point on that there was nothing that Victoria could do, her girlfriend could do, or that I could do to stop her from becoming Mrs. Dawes. Wasn't going to happen. But I'm in this feeling and in this state of, how do I move now? I'm her manager. 1, she's in this lesbian relationship. 2, how do I move forward with this thing? As I was looking at her girlfriend walk through the store, I knew, like I said, I knew by this time that she was supposed to be my wife. And I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't know how to do this or what's going to happen, but it is what it is. So me and Victoria, a lot of times we work together, and it's just her and I, and we really begin to ponder. How do you feel about this? What do you think about that? And I look at her one day, she's over, and she's in the clothing area over there. And I'm near the register, and I'm like, I'm just going to just let her know. So she's over there, she's looking at me, I'm looking at her, and I just mouth the words as in, I love you, like telling her, this woman who's my worker, who's a lesbian, and I manage, it's like she just started to just melt right there in the store. She paused, she caught it, and it's just like, what the freak? And I'm just like, it's all or nothing from here. Either I lose my job and get fired for this, or whatever the case may be. But at this point forward, I know that you're supposed to be my wife. It is what it is. And I told her, I said, I can't respect your dating life or your relationship. I can't respect it because it's not a relationship. You are with a woman in your lust or your desire, whatever you want to call it. You're in that situation with this woman, but I cannot respect it, and I cannot stop what's meant for me. Either I chase you for the rest of my life as you stay in this lesbian relationship, and I just look like a fool all the rest of my life, or we come together and we make something magical. That's the conversation I had with her. She understood it, and she said, I want to take time. I want to take time, and I want to think about what's happening with all of this stuff. I said, that's cool. That's fine. And I'll be here waiting. And so she did. She went and she took time to herself, thought about things, and she came back and she's like, we have to stop this. We have to stop this flirting. We have to stop, engaging. We'd share letters with each other, notes with each other, secrets with each other, great conversation with each other. Something happened to my car once, and she actually had to drop me off at my apartment. I was living in an apartment then, and she dropped me off at the apartment sometimes. It was crazy. And she looked at me, she said, we have to stop this because, I'm involved with this woman, and this cannot continue. It's not right. My conversation stayed the same. And I told her, listen, it's not me. You are what I had prayed for. You are what God is gifting me. If I could stop, I would. I can't stop at this. I can't stop. It is what it is. And I'm going to chase you. That is it. I don't mean in a disrespect to you. I don't even mean in a disrespect to her. But I have to chase you. Otherwise, I'm single for the rest of my life. And it started to get to her. She understood that. And she said, okay, you can try. I was like, okay, well, that's all I'm asking for, is that you respect the fact that I'm not trying to disrespect you, but you can't stop me from expressing how I feel, expressing what I think, buying you gifts, buying you lunches. You can't stop that. You can throw it away. I bring you food. You can take the food, you can throw it away, but you can't stop me from bringing it. And so the chase was fully on for Victoria's heart. And literally day after day, it was boom, and then boom, and then boom. And so during the back and forth, I could tell that she was falling more in love with me. I could tell that, I could see that. And she'd expressed that. Sometimes she's expressed that in word, but oftentimes it was an action. And I remember us leaving the store one day. We locking the door. It's raining outside. And because my car was still broken, we had to drive to the bank together. And I'm looking at her. She's wet, you know. She had on this white little jacket with some brown front pieces on it, whatever. And she just looked at me like she was ready to just let it all go. And I said, okay, all right, this is what's happening. But nothing, let's just leave it as it is. And we drove to the bank together. We drove all the way to the bank. She's driving, drove me to the bank. And I'm like, I have so much to express as far as how I feel, but I don't know how to say it. I don't know if I should even say all of it. And she got upset. She said, why won't you tell me how you feel? You know, all of this type stuff. I was like, I just can't. And then we're looking at each other at the bank. And it's like you can tell we wanted to kiss, right? We're here. I wanted to do, I just couldn't. And she's there, and it's like she couldn't. And we're just staring there. It's like I just can't. There's I don't know. We shouldn't. But we get back in the car. She's driving me back to my apartment, and she's quiet the whole time back, okay? And we get into the apartment complex, and instead of dropping me off, she says, you're gonna tell me how you feel. I was like, crazy, get out of here. And she says, I'm not letting you out of my car until you tell me how you feel. I was like, come on, man, let's come on, you know. And she starts to do donuts in the middle of the freaking street around my apartment complex. Said, we're gonna do this all night until you tell me how you feel. And I did. I ended up telling just completely how I feel, expressing my heart, you know, pouring it all out there, putting it all on the line. And I think we graduated in a lot of ways that day too. And I thought that was just that, but then the club night happened. Club night is the night that I'm in my apartment all by myself doing who knows what, maybe playing PlayStation or something, I don't know. And she and a friend of hers were going out to the club. But something happened. I don't think she had enough money or for gas or something like that, whatever the case. She did not end up going to the club, but she ends up calling me saying that she wants to come to my apartment. This is like at midnight. So she ends up coming to my apartment. I let her in. We talk about some stuff. And we knew that it was going to be us. It was going to be us. Like, this is, how do we do it? I don't know how to do it. I don't know how this transition is supposed to play out. All the doubts and the questions come in. Hey, now you're coming from a lesbian relationship. How is this supposed to play out? You got to understand that I'm not a woman. You know what I'm saying? This is all man. This is all power here. You know, things are going to be different. Do you understand that? Or whatnot. She did understand that. When I walk her out to the car, this is late at night. She has her car on. I can remember that she has Aaliyah playing in her car, like her door is open in her car. And she runs back up to me for a hug. And listen, I'm gonna tell you this here too, man. If you're trying to wait for marriage before you do, don't even hug people, because when she hugged me, she felt all that power wrapped around her side and everything. She had to, because I was so excited, and she felt all that power, and she looks up at me. She says, "It feels so good to be hugging someone that's taller than me, that's bigger than me." And she kept staring at my Adam's apple and saying, I love your Adam's apple. And I'm just thinking, yeah, it's just a man thing. It's a man thing that you're now starting to receive and accept. Meanwhile, like I said, Thor's hammer is pressed all against her. I'm just like, whoa, I better let this woman go. And that started things at an escalated rate, and things changed from there. And so we get into a relationship, like an official relationship. I was like, so some things had to change. One, obviously, I can't manage you anymore. I had to transfer to a different store and all that type stuff, which I did. And things really looked up. It was different. Then all the hate came, you know. Y'all so young. Why are you getting married young? Blah, blah, and all this. Who do y'all think you are? Why you want to marry this guy? This guy's from Alabama. He's a thug. He's a gangster. All of these things, this hatred from everywhere started to come into the picture. But at that point, I knew what the deal was for everything. So I took it to a Mexican restaurant, fed her, and outside of the restaurant, we hug each other, we embrace each other again. And I say to her, I was like, listen, you can run, right? This is still time for you to run and get away. Right now, run away from me. You can do it. Because otherwise, we spend the rest of our lives together. And I mean that. And she says, I'm not going anywhere. This is what I want. This is what God has put together as she had grown and developed more so in the Lord and stuff like that. And we knew that we were beginning a journey that would change not only our lives, but it would change marriages, relationships, and families forever. That's what we do even to this day. A lot of times people, when they hear this story, they say, oh, Henry was just a good Christian guy. Oh, he's amazing. Henry came through and changed that girl's life. Idiot. No. God has purpose for us. God had design for us. And God answered my prayer in the process of all that stuff. And with that, thousands upon thousands of marriages and relationships have been affected by the journey that we started. Hopefully this has helped you out in some kind of way and really brought some light to things for you when you're thinking about marriage and relationships. Yes, sir. This is the language of kings. Have a good one.